What's up everybody, this is Crash from GBR, and today I'm bringing you the review for the Turing Test. It is a first-person puzzle-solving sci-fi adventure game developed by Bulkhead Interactive, and it is available now on Steam and Xbox One. So let's jump right into the review for the Turing Test. First up, content. So the Turing Test is a single-player only game that takes place inside of a moon base. The story deals with artificial intelligence, problems with the base, and trying to figure out what's going on. The only way to find answers is to travel through the 7 sections of the base, which are each split up into 10 rooms. Inside each of these rooms is where you're going to find the puzzles you'll need to solve to move on to the next room. Now these puzzles will require you to do different things, but ultimately the goal is to supply power to the final door in each of the rooms. Now your main weapon to battle these puzzles is your EMT gun, which you'll pick up at the beginning of the game. This gun can absorb energy sources which can then be taken and shot at other objects in the environment. These objects might be breaker panels, magnets, robots, or simply doors. Now this game, like many other puzzle solving games, starts off fairly easy and progressively the rooms become more complex and difficult to solve. But this is where the problems start to arise. The Turing Test is not a difficult game at all, nor is it a satisfying one to complete, and this is due to the lack of mechanics to solve the puzzles and the layout of the puzzles themselves. Many puzzle solving games like this, I'm left scratching my head just trying to figure out how to get past the door, and by the end I may have broken 1 or 2 controllers. Yet during my entire 5 to 6 hour playthrough of the Turing Test, I never had one room baffle me. Now I'm not the most intelligent person in the world, I've just played a lot of video games, and I think that's where the issue lies with the Turing Test. If you played any puzzle solving games like this over the past few years, you'll probably pick up on how to solve the puzzles pretty quickly, and it's because the game feels all too familiar. The entire game has that been there, done that feeling, and you'll probably recognize immediately what needs to be done to solve the room's puzzles as soon as you enter it.
I'm afraid not.
Moving on to quality. First up is graphics. So when you first start off in your pod, you have plenty of detail going on with all the buttons and knobs, as well as the lighting effects. The first person view is also well done, where you can see your entire body, not only including your arms and hands, but also your legs. Graphically, the beginning segment had me ready for a grand sci-fi adventure. Up until you land on the moon surface and enter the base, the game was setting up for something special. When you exit your pod, you'll notice some decent weather effects, and you'll enter a sharp-looking, beautifully lit hallway with some nice-looking reflections. This is where you will enter the puzzle rooms and the graphics will start looking less impressive. Once you hit the puzzle rooms, the game begins to have a bland, sterile feel. The rooms still look sharp and have some nice lighting effects going on, but they are all blocky, metallic gray areas that all feel the same. However, once you do make it past the section's puzzle rooms, you will enter a section of the base, say the maintenance hangar, and you will find another room that is highly detailed, has many objects, and is a lot more interesting to look at than the previous puzzle rooms. Next up is sound.
Engaging retrofire. I'm running the program 80-degree delta pitch to 88 degrees absolute. Braking procedure. I wonder why the ground team has changed these rooms.
I have a hypothesis. These rooms are Turing tests.
Turing tests?
Turing tests are tests designed to tell humans and machines apart.
So overall, the game's sound is done very well. Sound effects wise, it doesn't seem like there's much going on, but what is occurring sounds the part. You can hear the mechanics in each of the watchful eyes of the cameras as they follow you throughout each of the rooms. And it's obvious that you're running on metal flooring as you explore the base. But the real standout in sound is the music and voice acting. The ambient music that plays throughout the entire game just elicits a feeling of exploration and despair. After all, you are trying to figure out what's going on at this base. It's a mixture of soft tones, electronic sounds, and piano keys, thrown in with some deep bass to bring forth a sense of urgency and fear. So the voice acting is a main component of this game as it drives the narrative. There are two main voice actors, your player Ava and the AI Tom. The two will constantly be talking back and forth to one another throughout the entire game. These conversations drive the story, and this is the only way you could figure out what's going on at the base. While the voice acting of Ava is strong, it just doesn't sound genuine. It sounds as though she's reading more off a script than in a direct conversation. Tom, on the other hand, is masterfully done. And all I can say is throughout the entire game and up until I read the credits, I thought it was the actor Jeremy Irons playing him. You know, the bad guy from Die Hard 3 with a Vengeance? Sounds exactly like him.
What do you mean?
The base was originally constructed as modules to withstand the seismic activity in and around Thera Macula. It appears the ground team have manipulated these modules.
Next up, controls. So the game controls are very simple. You move and aim with your analog sticks, which are responsive and precise. There are options, however, to change sensitivity and inversion. The left and right triggers will either fire energy or pull in energy, X will grab objects, and A will jump. Moving your character around feels nice and heavy, and feels even heavier when you try to jump there, as she only jumps about 2 inches. The only issues I found with the controls were during some of the later puzzles, which require you to hit X while you're moving on a platform, or the object you have to hit X on is moving itself. There are also some puzzles that require precisely spinning some objects that can be rather difficult. Last up in quality is performance. So overall the game ran fine. Had no major issues. You might see some minor frame rate drops, but there's no screen tearing. However, my only gripe with the game is the loading in between some of the rooms. This loading happens frequently and without warning, and can last anywhere from a few seconds to 15 seconds. Next up, delivery. So the Turing test had the beginnings of a great game, but that was about it. The beginnings of anything usually set the tone for what's to come, but unfortunately what was to come was flat and uninspired. The Turing test is a familiar experience, and compared to games in the same genre, is less challenging, fun, and satisfying. Ultimately, when you complete a puzzle or challenge, you want to feel a sense of satisfaction or accomplishment. And in that sense, the Turing test misses the mark. So I rate games on a buy now, buy later, or never buy. This is a buy later. Wait for a sale and pick it up if you're one of those people that haven't played many of these types of games. You may not find it as easy as those who have played all the other puzzlers out there. So if you liked the review, maybe subscribe, give me a thumbs up. If not, give me a thumbs down. Till next time, keep on gaming.